Hello everyone! We are thrilled to be here today to talk about something significant and fundamentals to all our lives, which is understanding healthcare.
When we truly understand healthcare's its intricacies, its challenges, and its potential, we unlock the ability to build societies which is more healthier and more equitable.
Yes, so this is not just about doctors or hospitals, it's also about the complex ecosystem designed to support our well-being from cradle to grave. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So before that, once again, we are the Group 2 and I am Jandrea Feacian and I am with my co-reporter.
My name is Rafi Gerpaldo.
And we will be discussing the last topic, second to the last topic of the final coverage, which is the lesson 14, Understanding Healthcare. Alright, let's start the presentation.
Alright, so let's start with the introduction. So, understanding healthcare. So first, we have the lesson's objectives. So this would be our goals today to learn with this topic. The first that we have is define healthcare and describe its scope within the health system. The next one is differentiate healthcare from healthcare service from healthcare system. Explain the levels of healthcare according to World Health Organization. Identify legal and ethical principles guiding the right to healthcare. Analyze key challenges faced by healthcare systems during pandemics. And last, we have to discuss how SDG supports stronger and more equitable healthcare systems. Alright, let's start with the introduction about healthcare. Healthcare provides treatment, diagnosis, rehabilitation, programs, and public health programs. It also delivers through institutions such as hospitals, clinics, and public health organizations. So, I know that every one of us this is not new to us. Hindi na bago sa ato ang healthcare because ever since that we were born, our partner or we have this fundamental thing and fundamental rights that we have, which is our healthcare. We can observe that one to our communities. In our local communities, we have our healthcare centers in our barangays. In the cities, we have also hospitals that can help us in regards with preventing, treatment, and diagnosing illness or sick of the people. It is also delivered to institutions such as hospitals, clinics, and public health organizations. So as I have mentioned, we have our clinics, hospitals, and also public health organizations that we have. It might be private or non-private health organizations. It is part of the healthcare system of our community. So next would be the meaning and scope of healthcare. Healthcare system consists of trained professionals. Examples are doctors and nurses. It requires governance, financing, health information systems, facilities, and equipment. So, what is healthcare? So, healthcare, it consists of the trained professionals. So, when we say healthcare, it consists of doctors, nurses, our frontliners. That is considered as healthcare. And it also requires the governance about financing, health information system, facilities, and equipment. So it is not only about providing health cares to the community, but also financing by the help of our government. And the next one that we have healthcare medical services delivered by professionals and healthcare overall system enabling health services. That means healthcare will be delivered by our professionals, nurses, doctors, or even public health workers that we have in our community or in our barangays. So we have our barangay health workers. Those are part of healthcare as well. And overall is the health services that they offer. So that's considered also as healthcare. The next one would be the global regulations. World Health categorizes healthcare into primary, secondary, and tertiary care. Primary care, basic checkups, common illness treatment, health education, and secondary and tertiary care, specialized advanced medical treatment. So with the global regulations, the World Health Organizations categorize healthcare. The first one is the primary care. Primary care, or the primary care, it is the health services that offered by our primary health or primary care physicians. We have those internal medicines, doctors, pediatricians. We also have family doctors that are considered as primary care physicians or doctors. They are the one that provides primary care, primary checkup to our people. Next is secondary tertiary care, wherein after the primary visits of our people, that's the time that they will be checked by the specialized doctors or specialized physicians. And with the tertiary care, that's the time that services are being rendered in the clinic, hospitals, or any institutions that specialize with the treatments after being diagnosed by the primary care physician. Next is the legal and practical limits of the right to healthcare. Healthcare is recognized globally as fundamental human right. It supports both physical and mental well-being. So, healthcare is not just only a thing. It is a legal and practical rights of every Filipinos and every people. So, in the Philippines, it is guaranteed that everyone has the right with the healthcare. It is actually stated with the Article 2, Section 15 of the 1987 Constitution, which mandates that state to protect and promote it all for the citizens. This is the right for every Filipinos, supported by laws, by universal health care, that all the Filipinos or the people should have health care. This should be the fundamental thing and fundamental rights of every human being. And healthcare is very important because it improves individual and population health, not only for physical health but also for well-being or mental health. Okay, in the next part, it will be discussed by my co-reporter.
Now, let's continue the recording. Let's focus now to the right to health versus the right to healthcare. Now, we have first to know the distinctions between the right to health versus the right to healthcare. Now, the right to health is it focuses on our well-being, like clean water and air. So mainly, it's about the health, the well-being. Whereas the right to healthcare, it is about accessing to medical services. So mga hospitals, like your access to medical services. So that's the distinction between the two. Now, the state duties, we have there the protect, respect, fulfill. So protect here means to say to stop the pollution and to secure the food and the healthcare security. Now, the respect here is basically it means only that we have to avoid this barrier or these excuses to not seeing a doctor. So if you feel something off or hindi tayo okay, so we should stop these excuses. So we should seek and we should seek medical services ahead. Next is fulfill. Fulfill here meaning to say is you have to do something like organization or a healthcare program to ensure that everyone fulfilled or iniisip or gina-take importance ang atong health. So sa fulfill here, you can do the fitness program, the exercise program, anything that's about the health, ensuring that our health is of paramount importance. Now, the health system here, we have accessible, available, high quality. For accessible here, it should be the geographic. It should be geographically within reach and, of course, affordable. Now, for available, it should focus on a sufficient healthcare facilities. Not just facilities, but of course, the resources and the staffs. Because isa yun sila. So, dapat they are available. And the high quality, of course, the health services should be high quality. Meaning to say, it should be patient-centered, it should be effective, and it should be safe. Of course, patient-centered because when doing work, when doing something that is about the health, like work na related talaga for health, like doing immediate help, like doing the Red Cross, like for example sa Red Cross na community which I'm also belong, which I'm also part of that. So when doing a healthcare talaga, like immediate na help, we really ensure na it's the patient talaga ang uunahin. Unsa ang needs, unsa ang yahang gusto, unsa ang bawal. We always we will not relying on our own, but we are of course considering talaga kung unsa ang gusto, unsa ang request, or unsa dapat ang need yun sa patients. So we are really mindful of not crossing the line talaga, especially if it's okay pa, but of course if we kanang makita na mo nga murag there's a need to cross the line, then of course we will do it. Yeah, of course during emergency, fair allocation needed is of paramount importance. So we have these major principles: autonomy, patient choices, as I said earlier. Of course, you have to respect, we have to prioritize kung saan gusto sa patient as long as is makabubuti sa iya. Now, next is the social justice, which means equitable resources. So the distribution of healthcare resources, it should be equitable. Dapat it should be just, and dapat tanan matagaan ani. Dili siya kanilang patients or katong patients, dapat na siya equal opportunity nga tanan matagaan ani nga mga resources and mga services na from our staffs and sa mga healthcare practitioners na. Right? So let's move to the next. Okay, healthcare challenges during pandemic. Now this one is very it's important for us to understand because 5 years ago, 2019, or the last time, last month, but it's nabot na siya tong 2019. So 2020 is nag-start yung the polarizing experience with everyone during pandemic. So we have different experiences ato. Lahi ako lahi ang everyone. So a lot of us really struggled. Ang iba naman na-struggle atong iba naman is na-develop, na-improve that time. So, it's like the introvert na yung extrovert or the extrovert na yung introvert. And a lot of us had this huge realization, and literally, the global world has just paused. The change and the shift siya drastically. So, going back, healthcare challenges during pandemics, so we experienced firsthand the severe strain dun atong, especially to mga healthcare practitioners. So, first off is the staff. They are overworked. Overwork sila ato, and then they work under pressure. Of course, knowing the fact that that time is kailangan there's a shortage of mga nurses, doctors, and even sila nagkasakit pod. So, murag mo na ang isa sa mga severe strain at that time, especially when you focus on challenges during pandemic. So, nag-overwork sila and then they work under pressure. So, it's also a difficult pod na mga experiences. It's also a difficult experience sa ilaha pod. So, we're so thankful for them. We're so thankful for their for being there, for being the frontliner at that time. And the supplies, of course, we also have during the pandemic, due to a lack of mga ibang tambalan to treat, there's a shortage of PPE, ventilators, medical materials, medical kit, because daghang ibang treat tambalan. So basically, there's a lack of mga medical materials, medical ng mga equipments, medical nga mga apparatus, and so on and so forth. So, nagkulang din ang mga kagamitan that time. And space, of course, sa kadaghang patients during, 1,000 of patients during pandemic, if you can imagine, daghan kaayog, today na ay maabot, of daod, daghan na po mga maabot. So, during that time, ang hospital ato, they're having the hard time to accommodate the influx of the patients. Okay, ang space ato na-occupy na siya halos lahat sa kadaghan o mga pasyente. So, mura siya, ang space ato, ang gawas sa hospital is very, dili siya occupied with people. Murag mas nagpuyo ang mga tao that time sa hospital. So, naka-affected siya sa space at that time. especially daghan jud kita bang ato. And of course dili na naka-cause siya asa isa sa problem kay daghan na kita bang and then nagkaguot pa dito sa place sa hospital. So muna isa sa mga severe strain. Then the systems of course pretty much self-explanatory. The system po na restrained po siya at that time kay even the people nga sa hospital naglisod po sa unjud at that time. So good thing talaga is they manage everything. They manage even unsa to siya kalisod at that time, they manage really to handle everything well. Now the key needs naman to solve or to combat this one is to strengthen the workforce first. Meaning to say you have to do the trainings, more trainings, mental services. We have to do more mentorships or like just to enhance, to elevate, to give more experience and trainings to our healthcare professionals para mas ma-enhance, mas ma-elevate ilang expertise to do the work. Then secure essential resources. It's very essential. Improve infrastructure. We had to expand the hospital. We have to the hospital need to be expanded. Of course, then aside from expanding the hospital, to improve also the technology at that time. The technology, which means of course under the infrastructure. So lastly, enhance emergency coordination. We have to establish the right protocol for rapid information and conversation. Yes, of course, because during at that time pandemic, it's important to have this access of information, to have this access of mga balita, because really, if you are not aware, if you are not updated to what's happening at that time, really, I'll tell you, lisod siya i-survive. So it's important at that time jud na naay proper protocol and naatay right access to rapid nga mga conversations and mga informations na gina-post maybe online or in person. So you have to of course then consider not adhering to mga misinformations. Of course, you have to be like digitally wise. You have to be more cyber tama na pag-use of cyber world. So, kasi it's not just isa ka tao lang ang ma-apektan, but also tananta. It could create a ripple effect. Alright, so let's move to the let's move right now sa SDG in relation to healthcare. Now, healthcare is not just, it can't be done in isolation. Of course, it's intrinsically linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. So we have here four Sustainable Development Goals. First is Sustainable Development Goals 1, which is no poverty. 3, good health and well-being. 6, clean water and sanitation. 11, sustainable cities and communities. So for no poverty, of course, during at that time, poverty talaga is isa sa mga reason why people don't have this access to medical services or healthcare, and because of the poverty, because of there's still this disparities talaga of the low income and high income. So if you are not wala may kwarta to support or to help you nga ma-hospital ka, so dili mo ma-cater, dili ninyo ma-attend kung unsay concern ninyo. So this is very important. So no poverty here is dapat lahat have these equal rights to access medical services regardless kung naa ba kay kwarta o wala. So at least I think we have programs naman and mga financial assistance from different campaigns, from different charity work, from different mga sponsorship din naman na maka-help din to help those people talaga in need of medical services, especially if wala silang pera or dili sila dali-dali maka-access sa medical service. Like for example, for me, I work as an assistant there sa SPMC sa Heart Institute. So for me, I will share it na lang briefly. I help those kanang people ba na I think na they have no money good to provide this for their food, to buy food, water, and so on and so forth. I think for me as an advocate for equality and social justice, I help those people talaga in need. I think it's a kind of small help, but I think at least I help someone. I help people now really need that kind of help at that time, anytime. So next is good health and well-being. The very gist of this understanding healthcare. So good health and well-being, regardless of any walks of life, regardless of all ages, mga bata man or matanda, is really important talaga to have this access to good health and well-being by promoting fulfill kanina by promoting mga programs, mga activities nga in relation to focusing on our health. Yeah, and of course eradicating those things na makadaot sa ato, especially katong mga alcohols, cigarettes, for recreation ng mga youth. I think it's no good. So it's important for us to have this understand the meaning of sustainable development, be the good health and well-being, especially in the context of healthcare. Now 6 is clean water and sanitation. Of course, it's important na we drink clean water, and we also do the sanitation, because everywhere is, we cannot say everywhere is dili hugaw. So it's important for us lagi to be mindful of everything, be mindful of unsay gunita. We have this proper sanitation. We have to be like, I'm not saying we have to be arte with everything. We just need to be mindful, to be meticulous with everything, especially if it costs us our health. So the clean water and sanitation, dapat proper clean water na ato ang inomon, and sanitation as I said earlier. So lastly, sustainable cities and communities. So dapat the healthcare, of course, as I said, expand the hospital and the technology for the infrastructure. So it helps dapat to make the community not just kanang community lang. Dapat you have to do the work to make the community sustainable by really focusing on the healthcare services, focusing on the hospitals, the clinic, or the anything na maga-provide to kanang healthcare services. So muna siya sustainable cities and communities, para ang tao sa communities, they have this immediate access to healthcare. So you have to elevate or to improve the buildings, the hospitals, the clinic, and so on, and everything. So okay, so these are the 4 sustainable goals included in our topic. So if these goals can be applied to if these goals will be applied sa ato ang understanding of healthcare services, and of course promoting the right access to healthcare services, I think this community, the society, the people could not just be live stronger or equitable, but of course sustainable then in the long run. So alright, so for conclusion, healthcare depends on coordinated system, professionals, and resources. Of course, they are the frontliner. They are the backbone of the healthcare. Our coordinated systems, the hospital itself, professionals, the staff, resources, medical resources natin. Yeah, it relies everything sa ilaha. So integrating sustainable development goals, or SDGs, strengthen equity and resilience. Yeah, SDG again, whatever the issue or the problems in society and the world, SDG is the one to help combat it, to strengthen the equity, to strengthen, to solve everything, to combat everything, and to reinforce the good or the right way to make things or transform things into more sustainable and more equitable. And then priority areas, Okay, as I said kanina, about our napili na apat na SDG, the poverty reduction, which is SDG 1, primary care access, the healthcare and well-being, SDG 3 ba yun? Alright, SDG 3, and clean water, of course, clean water and sanitation, SDG 6, and of course, sustainable communities, SDG 11. So, yun lang siya lahat. And of course, so, to sum it up, the conclusion, understanding healthcare requires recognizing its complexity and interconnectedness. It depends on coordinated systems, dedicated professionals, and adequate resources. By integrating the Sustainable Development Goals, we can strengthen equitable and resilience, with priority areas being poverty reduction, primary care access, clean water, and sustainable communities. So ultimately, clean healthcare is an investment in our collective future. So I hope you understand the conclusion part. Now that ends the entire presentation. So I hope you understand, you learned something from us, you understand the multifaceted nature of the healthcare. So,
Alright, so guys, if you have questions and clarifications, we are happy and open to accept questions and clarifications. Just post it on our Google Classroom.
Right. Thank you so much for listening, and that concludes our presentation. Once again, good day.